I got a text message. I hope you're okay. But I did get a call. I got a call not out of fear, not out of pity or sorrow or sadness. I got a text that told me the truth. Bobby Roode, I took the thing that you love most. I took it from you. And now, tonight, I'm gonna take everything out.
Look at this. I planted a small seed and it's blossomed into a mighty sequoia. So without further ado, I will now give to you your most dominant two-time world heavyweight champion, the Destroyer, Lashley. Get on your feet right now and show some respect. Get on your feet for the champion.
Well, there you found out the why, the reasoning behind the beatdown clan aligning with Eric Young to take the championship away from Bobby Roode to get it back around the waist of the Destroyer Lashley. Taz, the beatdown clan taking over Impact Wrestling.
That seems to be that way, but where is the champion? Where is Lashley?
I said, I give you your world heavyweight champion, the Destroyer, Lashley.
Well, that's definitely not Lashley's music, right?
This is not.
And that's not
TNA
Lashley.
World Heavyweight Champion Lashley. This is Kurt Angle. We found out last week live that Kurt Angle, no longer the director of wrestling operations. Kurt Angle is now on the active roster.
Look at the five of you running your mouths about being family. What I see are a bunch of thugs. And Eric Young, you're gonna pay for your sins tonight. Because I guarantee you, Bobby Roode's gonna kick your ass. Hey, Kurt, I suggest you be very careful how you tread. I mean, you're still walking. We haven't hurt you too bad yet. Well, I'm glad you did that favor for me. You see, I stepped down as executive director, and I can no longer book you in any matches. But what I can do is make each and every one of you tap out.
Uh-oh. Who's gonna make tap?
You don't want none of the BDC. You don't want to mess with the beatdown clan, Kurt. You ain't ready. You ain't bought that life.
Big shot there by Kurt Angle. Well, Samoa Joe was not backing down to Kurt at all.
Can't just get in Angle's face and think nothing's gonna happen. Security in the middle of this whole thing here, trying to.
Whoa, Joe. Joe, you want a piece of me, right? You want to go with me? You want to go with Kurt Angle? All right, I say we do it right now.
Whoa, Angle Joe. It's going to happen right after the break. Samoa Joe nor Kurt Angle wanted to wait until we were back from commercial break in this one-on-one matchup joint in progress. Kurt Angle with a quick start, Taz.
Yeah, Kurt Angle definitely didn't want to wait to your point. And you see right here, Kurt Angle bringing the offense during the break, had Joe reeling and rocking, great snap suplex, but then Joe, strong stop clothesline, short clothesline, leveled the playing field, and here we are. Now Kurt fighting from underneath.
And again, Kurt Angle back on the active roster, went one-on-one with MVP and was victorious last week, but then it was later that night MVP flipped the whole script on everyone here on Impact Wrestling. Samoa Joe, low-key, MVP, Kenny King, now the beat-down clan, MVP talking about how they are family.
Yeah, he sure did. MVP definitely flipped the script to your point. And just right here, you want to talk about the history of Kurt Angle's knee. And Joe knows that. You see this well-placed knee bar on Kurt Angle with a man with surgically repaired knee. So good job. You see the BDC on the hand written on the tape of Samoa Joe. Don't really know the motivation of why Joe would join MVP's new clan. I mean, we heard MVP talk about their friendship, him and Low-Key, but I guess that was enough. I don't know.
Well, MVP touched on the fact that these guys go back a long way, back to their days on the independent circuit, coming up together. Perhaps they saw an opportunity when Kurt Angle stepped down as the director of wrestling operations.
Nice opportunity for a dragon screw, and I hate to lead you, but I could tell he was going to do that because that's what you want to do. That's a very tough move on the lateral collateral ligament of your knee, and you saw how well done that dragon screw was. And now look at this, lock it in. Oh, I thought it was going. It looks like maybe a heel hook. Joe's back is so big I can't see his Kurt Angle's foot.
And Angle's got to watch his shoulders here to make sure he's not pinned to the mat during this submission hold here. This isn't a traditional figure 4 though, right?
No, it's not. Wait, hold on. We got something going on backstage. We got a producer backstage. Josh, you hear this? What's going on here?
It appears that something happening as we are looking for.
Excuse me, Bobby. Excuse me, champ. Bobby.
Well, we saw that earlier when MVP called when MVP called Lashley to come out. We played Lashley's music and everything, and no Lashley. Where's the champ? I'm just saw one of our producers trying to find Lashley, so in his dressing room, not sure where he's at.
Ooh. And you know what it's like to be a world champion. You pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm not a world champion anymore, and I still do what I want.
Everyone talking about the fact that Lashley nowhere to be found via social media. Great takedown there. German suplex by Kurt Angle. We want you to join in on all the action. Follow us via Twitter at Impact Wrestling. And of course, go to ImpactWrestling.com for all the latest and breaking news here on Impact.
Well, you got 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 German suplexes by Kurt Angle. You see Kurt grabbing at his knee. There's a lot of torque that goes in your knees when you back arch to suplex a guy, especially someone the size of Joe.
And a lot of history between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. Samoa Joe went 18 months undefeated here in TNA. His first loss at the hands of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, of course, in the TNA Hall of Fame. He's the only wrestler to hold the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP World Championship, the World Heavyweight title, the WCW and WWE Championship.
And now there's that rear choke by Samoa Joe. All those titles. What didn't help him? Maybe not. It didn't help. Ankle lock for sure.
Kurt Angle looking to put away Samoa Joe here. Will Joe tap out? Will Kurt Angle go 2-0 in consecutive weeks against the Beatdown Clan, sending a message perhaps to MVP?
Nice roll through. Oh, good job by Joe. But you saw earlier when Joe hooked on that rear choke. Kurt didn't let it go. Again, slam. Again, grabbing at his knee.
Samoa Joe about 290 pounds. Angle into the cover, and Joe pops free at 2.
Again, to back up, when Kurt was caught in that rear choke by Joe, you see how quick Kurt slipped out of it. You don't want Joe to have that choke on too long, or you're done.
Impromptu matchup here. Samoa Joe didn't back down at all when Kurt Angle called out the BDC, the Beatdown Clan. And Samoa Joe snatches Angle out of midair.
Midair, a version of basically a Uranagi just driving Kurt Angle down on that surgically repaired neck. All the issues with Kurt's neck and spine. And not only that, again, as we talk about his knee issues in this match. I think Kurt might right now be wishing he's back on that, being the guy making matches around here instead of being in the ring.
Yeah, wearing a suit perhaps, not a bad idea if you're Kurt Angle.
Muscle buster right here, nice counter on the
Angle
muscle buster.
slips through, looking for another ankle lock here.
And he's got it. Countered out of the rear choke earlier, now countered out of the muscle buster.
Smart move here by Joe, perhaps trying to get to his stomach.
Yeah, exactly, trying to turn this back to kick off. But relentless, tenacious is Kurt Angle with that great grip, the wrist and finger strength of Kurt.